The Indian Mound Museum in Florence had a showcase today where they brought in a member of the Chickasaw Nation to talk about the tools used by indigenous people here in Alabama. What you now know is the Tennessee Valley used to be home to all 5 nations of the so-called civilized tribes. The Cherokee, Choctaw, Chickasaw, Creek, and Seminole people all built settlements here in the southeast well before the arrival of Europeans to the area. But after the Indian Removal Act of 1830, they were all sent west to Oklahoma as part of the Trail of Tears. Fox 54's Caleb Aguayo went to the museum to tell us about the heritage they left behind.
The Indian Mound Museum here in Florence is a pinnacle of Native American culture and heritage because right across the street, a massive ceremonial mound thousands of years old sits waiting for visitors to discover. And just inside, a cultural translator with the Chickasaw Nation brought some tools and weapons to show me how the indigenous people here live their daily life. Here are some of those tools and the weapons southeastern tribes used to hunt game. The Chickasaw Nation didn't let me get footage of the actual presentation, but cultural translator Bill Burkeen let me in to see the tools themselves. They include cooking pots made from pine straw, arrows made from several different materials, animal hides, a blowgun, a rake, and traditional hunting spears. The site director overseeing the mound says these tools span thousands of years of history.
The mound was built over 1,700 years ago, and so these are going to be replicas of tools that may have been used by the southeastern indigenous peoples of that time period.
But she says even though the tools are historical, they're heritage for a living, breathing community here in North Alabama.
I want to carry on that legacy of we are still here. The indigenous peoples are still here and alive and well. It's not this story of the past. I want students to know and the community to know that it's a very much living culture.
And the president for Alabama's chapter of the Trail of Tears Association, Judy Sizemore, says it's all important to learn about because hundreds of years later, it's still a topic glossed over in school.
In the classroom, unfortunately, this is not considered to be eligible content. Much of this was not covered in the standardized test, and so it's not taught in schools. So this is a way to further your education. Some of it may have been taught, some of it may not have been taught, but you know, education is something that you never stop. You never stop learning. You continue to learn until the day you die.
The Florence Museum offers a place to learn about Native history and culture, tying ancient pasts into the modern era. To accomplish this mission, they try to host different events at least twice a month. In Florence, I'm Caleb Aguayo, Fox 54 News.
The next big event is planned for February when the museum will showcase Cherokee culture on the 8th. On the 9th, they'll be exhibiting plants native to Alabama, which were commonly used by the indigenous people here.